I've only had this thing for a month, so I'm not going to lie to you and tell you that it's going to last forever. And I do want to say something really quickly. The controllers that are included with this are absolute garbage. So if you're planning on getting this thing, please make sure that you have your own controllers, because the ones included with this retro gaming console are terrible and you are going to run into Bluetooth connection issues. And if you want my honest personal opinion, with something this cheap, I would recommend you actually use a USB controller, because the Bluetooth for something as low of a price of this is of course not going to be as good as something that cost $1,000. So please keep in mind that when it comes down to this type of stuff, the saying, quote unquote, you get what you pay for, really comes into play with this kind of stuff. So I do want to say this is the upgraded version for 2025, and the reviews are 3.5 stars. But if you go down into the actual reviews of this console and you read them without just looking at the star rating, the most common thing that people run into when it comes down to a problem with these is the controller functionality, which is what I just barely said. The controller that is included with this, actually there's two of them, they're garbage. They're going to frustrate you, they're going to annoy you, and they're going to cause a headache when you're using this thing. Now, I do want to say that this is on sale right now. It is 20% off over on Amazon. And another quick note before I forget to tell you this, the remote control that this comes with, you need this. Well, you don't technically need it. You could just pull the power plug from it and then it would turn off. But when it comes down to these little Android consoles that are preloaded with a bunch of games, you need the controller or the remote control. It's different than the controllers. It comes with like a TV looking remote, and you need that in order to actually power off the console. The console itself doesn't have a power button, and that is not like an issue, I guess, is the only thing I could think to say. With this console, this is pretty much something that applies to all of these cheap Android consoles. And I do want to say something, man. I'm going over the best console under $100 right now. And I'm not saying that this is a best console. If you're looking for the best bang for your buck console, the Kinhank X5 Pro is absolutely the best one for everybody looking to get into this stuff. It is $300. And you aren't going to be able to play every single PS2 game and upscale that and add a bunch of filters and stuff. But for the most part, that is what I would recommend to everybody. However, I do understand that the world is kind of struggling right now, and I understand that not everybody has $300, but anything else, if you're looking to get into this stuff, I personally recommend you get a mini PC. But anyways, let's actually go over this console. I have plenty of videos that you guys can go and watch of me going over what I actually recommend, what the actual best console is, not the best cheap affordable console like what we're going to be going over today. Now, what is this actual console good for? This is good for stuff up to the Nintendo 64. This is something that I actually really like, is there's a ton of ROM hacks on this thing, like a bunch of ROM hacks. There's actually a review on this console that said, "Oh, it's a bunch of rip-off games from that look like the game, but not actually the game." And I'm thinking to myself when I read that, I was like, dude, so you don't like playing ROM hacks? They're literally fan-created games. They have the original games on it, but they also have ROM hacks. And I'm thinking to myself, brother, did you just blindly buy this and you're completely unaware of what any of this is? However, getting a little bit off topic there, this console is going to be good for everything up to the Nintendo 64. And the consoles that are on this thing, it has 65,000 games on it. And every single console that is included on this, it has the full library for it. This is for very old stuff. This is for the Super Nintendo, the Sega Genesis, the Atari, the Commodore 64, the whatever, all the old stuff. I don't know. You can actually go to Kinhank's website and they have the full game list for all of the consoles that they have. And this thing is actually using EmuElec. It's not using Launchbox. It's not using RetroBat. So if you don't really like EmuElec, then I would say you avoid this. For those of you that are unaware of what this is, just when I say EmuElec, I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it at least. Um, that is the, I want to say interface, but that's not the correct wording. I'm losing my mind here. Front end. And what a front end is it's basically an application that the actual console uses for the emulators to run. And when you're browsing, you see the photos of all the games, you see this of that game, you see that of this other game. And like the actual interface of what you're browsing is what this is using. I would say not to update. Again, I've only had this thing for a month. I really don't know how long it's going to last. But I mean, I overall recommend this, man. I don't know what to tell people here because I already know I'm going to get a bunch of comments. So like the biggest problem, I actually care about the people that are like leaving comments and watching my content. So I read the comments on across all of my channels, and it irritates me when I get comments, oh, well, make your own. Like, dude, listen, one, this takes a while to set up on your own. Two, you have to have a decent amount of knowledge on how to use this stuff. Three, at least from my personal opinion, I actually like discovering new front ends, new interfaces, new designs, new this, new that. Each of them come with different controllers. Each of them are designed differently. Whereas if I pick and choose how I want everything to be, it's like I'm not going to like sit there and browse through everything because I already know what it's all going to be. I just don't care because I know, and well, some people will say, well, then it's perfect for you, which is absolutely true. I'm not going to argue that, but I guess I'm just like a weird freak of nature, which is something I've known for quite a few years now. But I'm getting older, man. I'm into this stuff for nostalgia. I'm into this stuff for memories. So I'm not really into these to like play video games. I know that sounds super stupid, but what I mean by that is like, I'm not saying I don't play video games, but 90% of my time with these is me just kind of browsing through the games. Now, the cheaper ones do not include video footage of the games that you're actually browsing. But my personal favorite that I use all of the time is that 12 terabyte Kinhank hard drive that is connected to a dedicated gaming PC, not a mini PC, but an actual dedicated gaming PC, because I want to be able to enjoy that thing. I want to be able to play the PS3 games scaled up to 4K. I want to be able to play the Switch games scaled up to 4K. I want to be able to play everything that is included on that thing upscaled to 4K, adding tons of shaders, tons of overlays, tons of mods, etc., and not running into any problems. And the gaming PC, it's cheap. It's only $1,000 gaming PC. It's not like something super high end like the work PC that I have in the backdrop of all of my content. It's very, very cheap, at least for a gaming PC. And, like that is very enjoyable for me. And 90% of my time with that is me literally just browsing through stuff and just looking at the footage of the games and be like, oh, that's cool. I remember this. I remember when that happened. And then I scroll down to the next game. I'm like, oh, that reminds me of this game, which was this. I played this with my friend. And then I scroll down to another game, or I go to another console and it's playing footage of some other game. And it reminds me of being at a friend's house. And that is why I'm into this kind of stuff. I'm not saying that I don't play any games on this thing. I absolutely love playing the games on these, but like 90% of my time with them is me just kind of browsing because it gives me memories of my childhood. It brings back those good feelings without me needing to waste a ton of my energy actually playing the game. And oh my God, I get it, bro. Oh my God, you just said it takes a ton of energy to play games. Dude, I've been on YouTube for 15 years. So while playing games may not be a chore to you, and you may honestly like really enjoy it, to me, I really have to push myself to play video games because I turned my hobby and my passion into a job. And I did that for I did it for about 10 years. I don't really do gameplay anymore or gameplay videos anymore, and I don't really play video games anymore. I really just kind of hang out, share, and talk about stuff that I enjoy at this point because I don't plan on giving up doing YouTube anytime soon, and I want to be able to create content in a way that allows me to just freely be myself without the need to focus on a specific game or a specific genre of a game, because that is kind of how YouTube works. You've probably recognized this with channel, even my channel. Like my channel is focused on emulation. And while I would love to be able to make reviews and tell stories of my childhood games and like Super Mario World, like if you go to, I want to say probably like 3 or 4 months ago, maybe a little bit longer than that, 5 months ago, I uploaded a couple of videos like, is Super Mario World worth playing today? Is Super Castlevania worth playing today? And those videos did not do well. And then I kind of made like a video on the emulation console that blew up. For people that are looking to start YouTube, that's your opportunity to focus on what just did well, because that's how YouTube works. It's called a bucket, or also you could call it a playlist, even though you're not making playlists. It's the type of content that's doing well on your channel, which brings different audiences that have never seen your content to your channel and videos, because YouTube understands who to recommend your channel and content to. So anyways, I went down a little bit of a rabbit hole there. My point being is, 90% of my time on these things is literally just browsing them to bring back memories and stuff. However, this is not going to be for that. I explained that for a reason. I'm not saying that browsing this is not enjoyable. You're going to be browsing this thing and you'll see like footage of, or not footage, but like screenshots of the video games and box art and stuff. But you're not going to see, I'll throw up some footage for everybody. Like I'll throw up some footage of the 12 terabyte Kinhank hard drive. That way you can actually see what I'm talking about. Like when I'm browsing that thing, one, it has a library of literally every single console other than the Xbox, Xbox 360, PS3, and the Nintendo Switch, because those are very new, and the game sizes on that thing are massive. And I don't think it has the full library of PS2 either. It has a ton of PS2 games, but I don't think it has the full library of PS2 games. However, when I'm browsing that thing, dude, one, it shows the box art. Two, it shows a screenshot of the gameplay, and then it fades into the actual gameplay. It shows the full description of each of the games. It shows the actual rating of people that literally played the video game. And it's a really cool, fun experience to like look at that and just browse everything. And it's using Retrobat. So it's using Retrobat, Launchbox, Hyperspin, and there's one other one on it as well. There's like 4 different front ends and interfaces that you can like browse through, and each of them have a different interface that you can literally select and choose. So there's like 20 different interfaces that you can use on the thing, and it's super cool and it's super fun to like browse through everything. However, I recommend this thing, dude. Most of the consoles that I have, please keep in mind when I say this consoles, I'm not talking about handhelds, because there's actually a ton of super cheap lower end handhelds that people can buy. Like there's the RG35XX Plus is literally like $40, and it's my favorite emulation console out of all of these things. It's like a Game Boy Advance. That's what it looks like. The buttons on it are super crisp. And I have a video on it, but it didn't perform well because the handhelds at least for me, the videos on the handhelds, they don't perform well. So I can't just like continue to make those if they're not going to do well, because the more I upload content that people aren't enjoying, the less YouTube is actually going to recommend. So yeah, dude, I mean, it outputs 4K, and it's got 65,000 games. It's EmuElec 4.6, so it's not the outdated version that a lot of these things come with, like the super old one. But in all fairness, that's whatever. Most of them have that at this point. But yeah, so anyways, the Anbernic handhelds, those are super affordable. Like they're like 30, 40, $50. Like they have a ton of them. And those all run incredibly well. The batteries on them aren't the best, but again, quote unquote, you get what you pay for. You know what I mean? Like even like an Asus ROG Ally, $1,000 handheld, the battery on that thing is not going to last very long. So like I'm guessing that that's why the handhelds don't perform very well. Plus, on top of the handhelds, they perform well, but the battery not lasting very long. Like everybody on planet Earth now has a cell phone. And it's literally you go to the Google Play Store, download the freaking emulator that you want to use on your phone, and whatever. There you go. You just use your phone. You don't need a handheld. So that could probably be another one. But anyways, man, it's going to bring us to the end of the video. I got a little bit off topic there a few times, but I'm really not trying to be some super fancy tech reviewer. I'm not trying to be some salesman. I'm not trying to be some, let's be honest, dude. I'm not trying to be some AI robot, which is literally what 99.999% of YouTube is at this point. Everybody is like just copying and pasting one another, or they're just using AI, which is copying and pasting AI. And I'm just not into that, dude. I'm just being myself, sharing stuff that I want to share, talking about stuff that I want to talk about, and just kind of hanging out, hoping that other like-minded people enjoy the more conversational stuff rather than some scripted bull crap that whatever. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will catch you guys in the next one.